How did you then cascade that or find your feet in this organization that you felt that was incredibly structured in order to lead your team? What was that dynamic look like?
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, when you have tools sometimes, right? Not all people will appreciate it, right? The internet is all there. Okay, yeah, I see it every morning when I log into the computer, right? But what does that mean to me? How can that tool help me, right? So I will always have these personal sessions in my team about, let's go and check out what the talent management is having in the website today, right? Let's check out about the performance management, right? So and then the core competency. Then we talk about core competency. We say, what do you think? Where you are at the core competencies? I made it like a casual conversation, not during the performance management, right? Not during the review time, right? So I just want my team to really master this, because this is an HR tool. If they are not the expert of it, how can they preach and guide others?
Absolutely.
Right?
Personal sessions, your keyword. Your personal sessions that you structure, is this like a weekly basis?
Yeah,
chat sessions that you have one-on-one?
Not one-on-one. Weekly
with your team?
Weekly is a group, right? My catch-up is a group, but one-on-one is like sometimes like bites, you know, like at the end of the day, right? Before we close the day. And if everybody is so stressed about certain projects, right? Then I pull them out of it. Let's do a teaser, you know. Let's do a quiz. So then I will share with a few of the people who are in the project. Say, let's talk about it. I don't know, that's so boring. No. I want to see how you want to turn it around and make it like interesting, right? So challenge your mind right now. How you make it fun? Right?
Would you say that is some form of coaching that you would do?
Indirect, because for me, coaching cannot be formal all the time, right? If you don't make it fun, you don't make it interesting, you won't get that person with you, right? That person will be thinking of something else and thinking, oh God, I'll have to entertain Azlina again, right? So you make it fun, so when they're excited, and then we make it competitive, right? So who gets the dancer first, who come up with the fastest crazy idea, right? Or the most fun idea, right? So everybody will start challenging themselves. Oh no, I got this idea, Zina, you know? So everybody will engage. Right?
I can see that for yourself. You strongly believe that as a leader, your leadership philosophy based on your ability to coach your teams and support your teams along. This is very, very powerful quality that you have. And this is something that you use. How do you see that now in the leaders around you? How is that being done? Do you see that happening?
There are some improvement since I joined 2 years ago, but there's still work in progress, right? Because most companies are focusing on skills, experience, right? The hard skills, right? They don't focus much on the soft skills. And people management skills, they will take it like automatic that manager will have it, right? So it should not be that way, right? So because nothing is automatic if you are not having the skills or passion for it, right? So for me, I think even you go out there, we still have to kind of, a lot of leaders still do not have this coaching appreciation moment with the team, right? And sometimes they do it just to check the task list, right? It's like they don't do it wholeheartedly, right? And sometimes when you force yourself to do it, so the quality of that discussion is not that great, right? Because it's just a check in the box. Yeah? So for me, I think the reason why I'm still here after all these years of journey in HR is I'm very passionate about coaching, especially now the young is my team. They are very young, super young. They are they are like 1-2 years experience. So I'm very passionate in coaching them what HR is all about. It's not just a policy custodian, right? A payroll processor, benefits management, right? It's more than that, because we are a real business partner and we are the custodian of the biggest portion of the overhead.
Exposing your young team to different situations and scenarios so they can develop their experience at a more faster rate. It's something that you talk about. How was that different for you back then when you started your leadership journey?
Basically, it's just based on my own capabilities, right?
Right.
And my own initiative or curiosity, right? And I'm kind of lucky because I'm very career-minded, right? And I'm always, I don't like, okay, my job is done and I'm done for the day. I'm the type always curious, oh, what else is there, right? Can I do more? Right? Because to me, I plan myself. That's why, thank God, whatever plan it worked out. Like domestic, local, Malaysia, then I become Southeast Asia, then I become Southeast Asia in India, then become Asia Pacific, right? And I had a global stint with a few of the key projects for my company. So I'm very into that kind of mindset. So I'm not I won't be happy with what I had. I want to do more, yeah. And it's all based on myself. There's nobody that I will tell you, oh, Azlina, why don't you consider, I see this is your strength, right? Why don't you consider doing this? And try it out as a project or something. There will be nobody there who would tell me back then.
What you're saying to me, so just for the viewers' benefit, what you're saying to me, when these challenges appear in front of you, you're just someone that goes and says, oh, I'm just gonna do it.
I'm just gonna do it.
How is that different now with the young leaders you see today in terms of how they are approaching challenges that are put in front of us? What is your observation?
I think they need more information. They need people to tell them the what ifs, right? And what are the thing that they are entering into. They're not comfortable if there's a lot of unknown, right?
They're not very comfortable just jumping in and getting their hands dirty. I mean, they want to make sure they have all the information.
Yeah, I think nothing against them. I think because they are nowadays they're very accessible to information, right? Unlike my time.
Yeah.
Right? You won't even have Google with so many information, right? You don't even have smartphone, right? So to me, I think the whole behaviors change because of the surrounding and where they are at today, right?
Yeah.
Because they are used to information. They can Google, they can access any information so easily in their fingertips, right? So if you give them something which is a blank sheet of paper, like nothing there, they will say, what is this, right? It's something that they cannot register.
And I think that ties down to the fact that having information overload takes away the opportunity to make quick, timely decisions. Would you?
Yeah.
How was that back then when you were young emerging leader and having to make your own decisions? How did you then what was your go-to in terms of your decision-making method?
Yeah, it's a bit tough then because you don't have anything on hand. Data is very, very limited, right? Systems are very, very scarce, right? So for me, more looking at patterns and past behaviors, right? And the conversation that I had with the people, right? So it's more gauging through that, and sometimes gut feels, right? Which is like, you can't even translate how your gut feels measurement, right?
Yes.
But it's just you, right? So a lot of times I do that because there's no availability of data, right? But I'm blessed. I think my gut feels always turns out to be like
more right than wrong.
Correct. So I was lucky that, right? But thank God we did not stay in the era for long, right? Then the system came to the picture.
So data was more available. But you already sharpened your decision-making sword, or axe as they call it, right? And so that fear of making a decision, is it going to be A or B? You didn't have that fear. You were already ready to take on the step, which is great.
A lot easier, and just seeing a few data here and there, right? Engaging someone's feedback or whatever, and I know what to do. And I'm lucky because I'm the type of person very decisive, so I don't sit on the decision for long. So now with current environment, with all the information that I have, that make it my making decisions a lot easier and faster.
How is that different now with the young leaders today that you can observe in terms of the decision making?
They can make decision, right, but not so decisive because they need loads of information, like super comprehensive data, like they need to know things here and there, right? That's why I mentioned they came into the environment, right? But when and they are but once they have that, they're very brave in making decisions, right? Even at the early stage of their career, but they still need that.
I've got two bold questions for you. The first one, Azlina, is based on your years of experience and how you have developed your own leadership toolkit and your leadership ability, and you've observed the leaders, the young leaders and the more experienced leaders around. As we move on to the future, how do you see leadership changing in the next 10 years?
I find that question very interesting, right? For me, it's like I try to visualize it. So it's going to be like, it's not going to be like how we do today. Like, oh, okay, I call my team, this is assigned to you, get it done and all that. And then make sure you get it done. And then you give all this distribution of delegation of duties, right? I think in the future, it's like kind of like one set of goals, right? And then it's distributed to the person who's going to deliver the goal. Right? We don't even go like when you have to complete it, right? It's going to be like if your business calendar is annual calendar, if it's fiscal year depending. So that's how it is. If the goal needs like quarterly deliverables and all that, then the team will be able to understand that, and then the way they deliver it is up to them. Because the young ones now, they don't like rules and regulation. They don't like standard approach, right?
More flexible.
They like flexibility because they have their own personal styles and this and that. So to me, don't bother about that. That the future will be just give the end goal and get it done. I think that's how. And then where they want to do it, whether in the office, whether in the Starbucks, coffee shop, or wherever, if they want to work elsewhere during their holiday, right? Up to them. Just give them the appropriate tools for them to do the job.
More flexibility, you're not restricting them.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I kind of agree with you. I think that's already the trend now, and I think that's where it's going to go in the future. Azlina, thank you very much for a wonderful session. And before we wrap up, what would be the one advice that you'd like to give our inspiring future leaders?
I think my magical motto for the young leaders whenever I have sessions with the young leaders, like, please don't forget to be curious and reach out. That will be my these two words. Curious and agile is a must-have. The other thing that I like is like for whoever has been a leader right now, I like to say be involved, be inspiring, and have fun. Right? If you don't have fun, then the whole meaning of the whole hard work just drills down the drain, right? So don't forget to have fun at the same time. So then you're gonna have a beautiful journey ahead of you.
Thank you, Azlina.
All right.
That's fantastic. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.